All right, happy Friday. We got a great guest today. It's one of the newest members to the eXp Realty family, Chip Adams here out of, where you out of, bud?
Fort Myers, Southwest Florida.
Yeah.
Beautiful Southwest Florida.
So he covers Fort Myers. You've got, is it Cape Coral?
It is. Cape Coral is just across the river from me.
Yeah.
Fort Myers. I am in Fort Myers. Cape Coral is just a little bit west of me, yes.
Yeah. So this guy's covering a lot of ground over there. And I've been watching him. I've been watching him for a couple years now, and we've been Facebook buddies, and we've sent messages back and forth.
I think we even tried to send some referrals back and forth.
Yeah, yep. And we've just built a really good relationship over the years. And he called me the other day, and he said, "Joe, I'm interested in joining you." And I said, "Well, let's have a discussion and make sure we're a good fit for you." And now about a week ago, he decided to hop aboard, and it's been awesome ever since, man. I can't tell you how excited I am. Because you're experienced, you've got a great attitude, you're really positive, and just the relationship that we have, I'm fired up, man. Are you fired up?
I'm fired up, man. I'm ready to go.
That's awesome. So tell us a little bit about the career you've had so far.
Okay, so far I've been one way or another, I was involved with real estate for a very long time. My mother is a lifelong investor. She has a lot of rental properties, so I managed her properties in the beginning. Then when we moved from Oregon down to Florida, she bought a business. We went on our other way. Then I got into the construction side of the business. So I did a lot of flips. I did a lot of remodels. Before the 2008 crash, I was basically, doing maybe 3-4 jobs a month, just helping people fix them up, put them on the market. And one of my investors was a real estate agent over there and said, "Listen, I known you for a long time. I, had all kinds of conversation with you. I think you will make a great agent. Come on down, get your license. Come, I'll get you in my office." I said, "Okay, that's awesome." So that's how I fell into real estate. Kind of the market changed, the work dried up right after the crash. There was no flips, there was no remodeling. Nobody knew what's going on. So I'm like, man, I got to do something different. And in real estate, I saw either the market goes up or down, just like in stocks. It's somebody's making money somewhere. So I said, hey, this is a more recession-proof side of the business that I should be involved with.
I love that you said that, because we got a lot of agents right now throughout the nation. I mean, I see it obviously heavily in my market, but I hear it everywhere where, the market is the hottest seller's market ever. And they'll say, man, this is a tough market because I'll submit offers. I got to submit 4, 5, 6 offers before I get one accepted. And I think if you think this is a tough market, you would have gotten crushed in 2008. This market's a piece of cake, right? I agree with you 100%. Right now in this market, if you got listings, they fly.
I'm thinking back now. I'm kind of thinking back of that period. And another main reason really that I got into real estate is the first house that I ever bought was during that. I was flipping, helping people flip. I'm like, I can do this for myself. I don't have to make somebody else's money. So I bought a house. After job, I came home, fixed it up, made it nice, just getting ready to flip it. And then the crash happened, right?
Yeah.
And then when it happened, I was supposed to get my mortgage refinanced at a lower rate because my first was at about 8 back in those times. And my second mortgage was around 12, both of them adjustable and both of them just cranking up.
What year was that?
This was 2008, before the crash.
Okay.
So I wasn't the best borrower, but back in those times, if you had a breath, like if you're alive, they will give you a loan, and just it's on you, buddy. So I was a little bit screwed over by the mortgage industry because I think she was a little bit predatory. Now thinking back to it, and also the real estate agent that was my agent forgot to disclose that he had interest in the house he sold me. So there was a lot of things. The house turned out to be a cherry. It's a long story, maybe for another show. But I was screwed on both sides, and I really felt like I hope nobody else has to go through that. And that's what I'm bringing to the table, kind of being on the victim side.
Now, when you went through that experience, were you a licensed agent at that time, or was
I was not? I was in the period of being a company that was restoring homes, fixing homes. That was that period.
Wow.
And I bought that house to do the flip and remodel for myself on top of my jobs, kind of to make the money on myself. The market crashed. And then when I went to, try to talk to the bank, get a different, mortgage payment arranged or something. Then I found out all those details, that the mortgage was kind of, iffy, especially the second mortgage at around 12% interest was really, really predatory, even
Yeah.
for those times. But then, finding out that the actual agent that I thought was my agent representing me was actually part owner of the house he sold me, and he didn't disclose. Obviously, he would have known as the owner to disclose a lot of the issues we found after we moved in.
Wow. So have you done flipping since you've been licensed, or is that a thing of the past?
I have not done flipping because my brother was part of the company. My brother is now a truck driver, lives in San Antonio, Texas, and that business has completely
gotcha. Okay.
dissolved.
So now, are you primarily a residential realtor, or what are you focusing on? Yes. Okay.
Residential. Yes. My primary farm area, my primary market area I live in the towers right before downtown Fort Myers. Yep. So a lot of the high rises that are in Fort Myers, there are not many, but they're all like within a half a mile of me. So that's really my main market. And then, single family homes, stuff like that, all over the place. There's a lot of duplexes also here, side by sides, all kinds, investment properties.
What percentage of your sales are condos over there?
I would say half.
Really?
Yeah, because like I said, I live in a condo, and condos are all up and down, kind of the main market for me. So,
well, yeah, okay, that makes sense. That's a beautiful area. I mean, I love that area. I told you when I was 18, 19 years old, we went on vacation down there, and so as soon as you said Fort Myers, I remembered the Lani Kai.
Right.
And you're telling me that's what did you call it? A goofy or loony?
I mean, it is kind of a resort that's a little goofy, right? It's a little bit wild. Exactly. Me too. Same here.
Yeah, now I'm going to get him in trouble, but I was 18, 19 years old, and I remember drinking at the bar, and not a person asked a question. They were just, yeah, we love this guy. So, yeah, I'm pro Lani Kai. I don't know if that's a great promotion for him or not, but
they'll probably take it.
So now you got into real estate, and you've been doing it for how many years now?
7 years, almost.
7 years, okay. And that's really interesting because my number one agent right now, Lizette. Have you seen Lizette before on Facebook?
I've seen her name pop up, yes.
She's awesome, and she's a great person, man. She's a great realtor, but she's a great person. And she was in real estate for 7 years. And her story is she never sold more than 5 in a year. And then she came with me, and just the other day, we had a big old high five because she's been with me for 2 years. Both years, she went over 6 figures. And it's awesome seeing people transition their lives from wherever they're at. And it doesn't have to be real estate. I'm addicted to just people growing, right?
Sure.
Everybody has so much potential. You have amazing potential, seeing what you've got. And we're kind of getting into the beginning talks about what it is you've done in the past, but I know you want to get bigger. I know you want to do better, and I know you've got a passion for this. I'm excited to see what you're going to do. And I guess this kind of leads into the next question, which is, what is it that made you want to make the move? What was the biggest thing that pushed you?
Well, I mean, you're in real estate, so eXp. Even if you don't like eXp, it's in your face. Everywhere you go, right? I'm very active, as you know, on social media because that's where we met. I'm all over social media, and eXp, it's like me, they're like all over, anywhere you go, everywhere, every major listing that you see here, it's eXp. Friends that have licenses in other states are the reason that I've joined eXp. I would like to form a team, as I've told you in the beginning of our talks. The reason I joined your team is because I want to be part of a team, be a team member first before I'm a team leader, right? And having the opportunity to have my team spread across the country, all working on the eXp, not necessarily having to be, next door. Like, we're on 2 different coasts of the state, and we're going to be a team. And that's the axis that I want, just to be anywhere and work with anybody else.
Yeah.
A second reason why I joined eXp, they're not active in Romania. I'm Romanian born and raised. And I'm hoping that I can maybe have some sort of help or aid in bringing eXp to Romania. I'm sure that would be a huge, huge thing, So there's a lot of opportunity, the multiple streams of revenue, the being invested in the company, being rewarded with stocks. There's a lot of smaller things, but the main thing is what I've just mentioned.
This is a little off topic, but when I was in, we talked about this a little bit. When I was in Afghanistan, I fought with a lot of the Romanians. They were our allies, and they, we go out with their infantry units. Great people. They looked at the military way differently than we did. They were just phenomenal people, lovable people. And all of them, while you're riding along to your mission, they want to show you on their phones Romania. They look at Romania like we look at our kids, like they love it. It's their baby.
Sure.
And I used to know, this is what I knew in Romanian. I knew how to say, open the back door, because we had to get out of the back door. And I knew how to say left and right. And hey, can I have some water? Like all those things.
Basic stuff.
I can only remember one word, and I don't remember what it means. What is stenga?
It means left.
Left.
Stenga.
There we go.
Stenga, dreapta.
Dreapta. That's right. Yes. I remember all this now. It's coming back to me. But they were the best doggone people, man. And yeah, I just miss those guys. And it's beautiful country you've got over there. So I like the first thing you said, because it kind of blends with one of the reasons that I came to eXp, right? There are nice people at every brokerage.
Absolutely.
But they're busy and they're running their own businesses to feed their own families. So to get their attention and to get all their help for an extended period of time, more than a lunch or a coffee, it's tough. Because they're not making any money off of you, so why would they do that, right? And I knew that, and I knew I wanted to build a team just like you do. And I thought, well, how am I going to get some stud team leader to tell me what he's doing for more than a lunch? I want to poke and prod for 5, 6, 7 hours a week. How am I going to do that? And when this idea of eXp was approached to me, I was completely turned off. And it wasn't because of eXp. It was because I had just gotten to Keller Williams. And I love Keller Williams. If I wasn't with eXp, I'd be at Keller Williams.
I started at Keller Williams.
Yeah, it's a great company.
Sure.
eXp is just a little bit better. They're for all my Keller family there. But once I heard that, if I go to eXp, this amazing team leader and the amazing team leader above him and the amazing team leader above him, all of them will open the curtains and I can ask any question I want. And they are financially incentivized. If I grow, if I sell, if the people I bring on sell, they make money. So they want to see me grow.
Sure.
That's very valuable to me. And I think you kind of alluded to the fact that that's what you're attracted to is, Joe, I know you're incentivized for me to grow. And how many team leaders are going to say, come on my team for 6, 12 months, take all my stuff and copy it, and then go start your own team and compete with them? Nobody's going to say that. eXp is the only company that has the model that allows for that and allows for the team leader to say, go do it. In fact, call me and I'll tell you how to do better than me, right?
Join me every Tuesday at 10 o'clock for the training anyway.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, exactly. So I love that you brought that up, man. And so tell me a little bit about your desire to start a team. Where does that come from?
So it comes from just owning your business, right? The next step for me would be in the brokerage world would be to go and get my broker license, get all the broker headaches and all the broker expenses to run a brokerage, which is in term, I can do a team in eXp, which is a very close, comparative to a brokerage. Yet I don't have any of the headaches and most of the expenses. So I think it was a no-brainer. But the main fact, which I think I brought before, is the fact that you can have a team member in Oregon, where I lived for 10 years, and I have a large, network of people that I know. Why not? How about having one in a different country that eXp is active on? Absolutely, know. So having that flexibility, you cannot find in a brokerage system. I looked at all of them. I talked to all of them. I talked to the main ones anyway. So
I like that a lot. I think you're going to do an awesome job. I mean, you've got great leadership skills already. I can see it in your confidence. I can see it in your communication. How much management experience have you had throughout your life?
Very little, because I own my own business for most of my life.
Did you have employees?
I'm sorry?
Did you have employees?
Yes, I had employees. I had the construction company had 3 employees, and that was the biggest we got.
Yeah.
But I mean, you have to understand, I'm a immigrant, right? So when I first came here, I spoke no English. So I've done all the meaningless jobs that you have to do to survive. So just after that, I saw that owning your business is really the part of the American dream. The house and all that comes with it, but owning the business is also part of the American dream. So I basically tried and failed since I came here at many things, and this is 7 years going, and I think it's gonna go even further than that.
Yes. So you've been coming on here for about a week now, right? You've been going through the onboarding process and everything.
Sure.
Be honest here. How well supported do you feel with me, with my staff, with eXp? How much support are you getting from us?
I mean, there were snags in the process, but I expected that, and I think everybody was really quick to address them. I'm talking about the eXp side. Catalina, your team, everybody was wonderful, but even eXp as being the big behemoth that people think it is, really it wasn't all that. There was a couple of small snags, probably a couple of them caused by me, but they were all addressed and fixed, and here we are. We're sitting and talking to each other about it. So
I love that you say that, because anytime I have a snag at eXp, well, before I even talk about eXp, the two brokers I've had who were not eXp, one was in Minnesota, one was here, both phenomenal people, very experienced, very knowledgeable, and just genuinely good people you want to be around,
Right.
But both of them, the one in Minnesota, we had like 105 agents, and the one here, we had over 200 agents. So if you had an issue, man, there was a line out the door, and you had a ways to wait before you were going to get an answer. Sometimes it was a day or two before you had an answer, right? If I have any financing questions, marketing questions, broker questions, give me my pay questions, anything, they've got something called Work Chat on here. And it's just like Messenger, right, on Facebook. And I can just, hey, where's my money? Or, hey, can I legally put this piece up on Facebook? And they'll get back to you in like 2 minutes.
Sure.
Because they're all sitting at a desk answering questions like that. So it's flipping awesome, man. Have you been to, if you go ahead?
I think there was a lot of misconception. I think there is a lot of misconception about eXp because I was, told many things that weren't true. But talking to you, we had this, phone conversations and so on before I decided to join. Is a lot of that was clarified. So I think a lot of people just have a lot of bad information, and it's just not just related to eXp. Any subject worth discussing, it's a lot of misinformation out there, and that's just the world we're living in.
So give me some of these misinformation rumors. I love these.
So I mean, a lot of the stuff that I've heard about the eXp is that you have to pay out a lot of people. Nobody bothered to explain to me that really your upline, it really gets paid from the eXp side of the commission split. The people that you bring to eXp don't lose a penny. They would pay that commission to eXp regardless. Yep. And if you were referred by somebody, then he gets a little bit of it as a residual check. And, having that, residual, having a few of those checks, maybe keep on coming for the rest of your life, that's not a bad deal either.
Yeah. I agree 100%. Anything else?
Well, I'll stick with that. That was really the money discussion, the splits, the how many people you have to pay up and down the line and stuff like that. I think it's a big misunderstanding about eXp, in my opinion.
I thought the same thing coming in. I thought, man, you pitched this good split, but if you guys are all making money, that's got to come from somewhere. It's probably going to come from my money. So when I found out that no, they're cutting so many costs, right? You look at a big company like, well, without naming names, I'll say pretty much any company you can think of, the big names, they've got so many brick and mortar buildings, and every building has to have its own broker, and every building has its own front staff, and every building has somebody who's got to cut checks out to the agents. And if it's a bigger office, they've got to have multiple of all those things. Sure. And then you've got to have the desks, and you got to have the laptops, and you got to have all the monthly bills that go along with it and everything else. That's got to come from somewhere.
And the responsibility that comes with it.
Absolutely true. When you look from a broker standpoint, right?
Yes.
So being able to cut all of that out and give you more money, and then allowing you to say, like we've done, hey, you want an office? Here's more money. Go get the office if you want the office. If you don't want the office, just keep the money. Yeah, like I love that. I love that.
Looks like
And
you have an office. You don't need the office. You already have one. I
that's
already
what
have
I'm
one.
talking
You know,
about.
it's my couch in the living room. That's my office.
I don't know if you guys know, but Chip is in his boxers right now.
No.
He's just got a really
Yes, yeah, we're not gonna go there, Joe.
But you could be, right? Isn't that
I
nice?
could be.
It's
I could be.
nice. But I'll tell you a funny story because I knew what you were kind of alluding to there, right? With the all the responsibilities and everything. And you kind of talked about this earlier. When I was down in Key West, it was the first time I was really exposed to eXp Realty. And Alex Haig, I'd never met him before. Now he's my closest business partner, right? And we went down there and he said, "What's taking you so long? Are you coming?" I said, "Listen, it sounds great. But if I'm going to leave Keller Williams, it's not going to be to come to eXp. It's going to be to start my own brokerage. Why wouldn't I start my own brokerage and just take all the money? Why would I give $16,000 a year to eXp?" And he said, "If you can make the math figure out, let me know. I'll come with you." And I thought, man, what is he talking about? That, like, how does the math not work out? So he said, "Okay, are you going to have a website?" I said, "Yeah, I'm going to have a website." He's like, "Cool. How much is that going to cost?" $20,000, $30,000, and then you got to maintain it. That's going to be $500 to $2,000 every month, right? Forever. And then when you get an agent on, right, you're going to have staff to take them on, and you're going to have a building, right, and offices and laptops and printers. And he started going through all that stuff, and he said, "We haven't even talked about your first agent who gets into trouble, right? Because it's not the agent's listings, it's your listings. It's not the agent's buyers. It's." So I thought, man, when you start adding up all the liability, all the time, the risk, right? What I need to take out a loan that I may or may not be approved for, all those different things. And I can do literally the same thing at eXp, but I've got all of it pre-made.
Sure.
Right? When Chip comes on, he's got an automated website waiting for him. I didn't make it. I didn't pay for it. It's just Bill. We got a whole financing department. I didn't make it. I didn't pay for it. I think I can only speak for myself. You get it's ego, right? Like you want Rosen real estate up on some billboard because it feels awesome. It feels like you achieved something. But when it comes down to nickels and dimes, man, it just made absolute sense to come to eXp Realty. I wanted it to make sense to start an own brokerage, but I just thought, man, it would have to get so big for it to make monetary sense, and it would take years to do it. I can do it immediately.
Sure. There's no system for you out there if you're an independent broker.
Yeah.
You have to create every system for every
100%.
little thing, that you have in your tool of tricks. So, you either go to the broker and give them their haircut from the top of every transaction, or you come to eXp. There really isn't a lot of in between. I mean, there's a lot of independent brokers out there, but you can't compare them volume, agent retention, anything that it's worth tracking. It doesn't even compare, in my opinion.
I'm looking up something while I'm talking to you right now. I'll tell you, we do this thing within the team. It was about 55 days ago. We started looking up certain stats. And one of the big stats was inventory. How many homes are on the market right now? And when I look up single family homes in Port St. Lucie, there were 365 homes, right? This is roughly 55. So less than 2 months ago. I literally just looked it up right now while I was talking to you. And there's 555, right? So that's 190 more. If I do the math, 190 divided by 365, that's a 52% increase in inventory in less than 2 months. That's a lot. Are you seeing inventory come on in your market on the west coast of Florida?
So our market is still a lot of cash buyers ready to pop. So I'm surprised by how much cash comes through. Yeah. The market is basically the same as it was 30 days ago. I actually pulled it up to see. So we had 104 listings come on the market today. So that's a lot of listings.
That is a lot of listings. Yeah. Now I will say, while that sounds scary to a seller that all those listings are coming on, I don't know how this is happening, but the sales are going up too. So the inventory amount really isn't changing that much because the sales keep happening. And
the demand is far outstripping the what's available as far as the inventory right now. And that it's been going from single family homes. It trickled down to condos. Now it's trickling down to lots because builders are running out of lots to buy to build the new stuff they're already trying to sell. Like there's listings on our MLS. I don't know how legal this is, and I'm not going to say names or anything, but they're selling single family homes like construction, and you go there and it's a lot. There is no foundation. There is absolutely nothing. That should be a lot. It's not. It's listed as a house, and somebody's going to buy it for $300,000. So I mean, it's just ridiculous stuff that's going on. And then all the people that came down here thinking they're going to get something for cheap, and they're like, oops, had a little bit of a sticker shock. They turned into renters, and they completely destroyed the rental market. The rental market has gone up 60% in Southwest Florida year over year, some of the highest in the country.
Oh, yeah. If you look down in West Palm, Fort Lauderdale, Miami, a $1,000 a month increase is completely normal right now. It's crazy.
Right.
So looking at all these numbers and all the people just plowing into Florida from out of state, where do you see specifically Florida? Where do you see Florida's real estate market maybe 6 to 12 months down the road here?
So I think that it could soften. I'm assuming the reason that the Fed did all the moves they've done is to soften the market. So of course they would know better than me what would do that. So I'm assuming that would have an effect on the market. I'm not so sure that we're going to see a nosedive. I really don't see a nosedive coming. I see more of a flattening or maybe more of a normal growth as opposed to the, ceiling, straight to the ceiling growth like we've seen the past few years.
Yeah.
So either a slow in growth or maybe a just kind of a leveling out for a little bit until we see what happens. I see a lot of people that are been waiting. I've talked to a lot of my clients that they've been waiting. They say, let me wait it out. It's growing too fast. People had concerns, but I mean, they've been waiting now for years and it's not changing. It's not improving for them. It's getting worse. Yeah.
So I've been seeing rates have continued to go up. They keep going up as Fed raises their rates. Our mortgage rates are going up. And I thought initially, well, that's got to result in buyers slowing down, which will increase inventory, which will slow down the market. But I've seen a lot of my buyers who've kind of been going back and forth on whether or not they want to do something. As soon as rates started going up, they wanted to get out and look so they could buy right away. Sure. Are you seeing that?
Yes, I'm seeing that. But I'm seeing also a lot of people that are financing their homes very, very concerned and very, very starting to close up because their numbers don't make the same sense as they used to do, 60 days ago. If they were looking at homes 3 months ago and they come looking at homes today, they're gonna be shocked. Okay, yeah. They cannot buy the same amount of house they could 3 months ago. Their payments for a lot less is going to be a lot more. Yep. So it's a tricky thing because I'm not a loan officer, so I don't have a lot of knowledge. But what I see just from us being realtors and being exposed to it every day, it's tougher for the regular Joe, and it's a little bit easier for the cash buyer, in my opinion.
Yes. Yep, I agree with you 100%. Well, listen, man, I appreciate you coming on here. We are excited to have you both with the team and with the eXp Realty. And in all honesty, I'd love to do this again here in maybe 12 to 18 months. I want to see that team grow. I want to see what you took. I want to see how big you guys get. And I'm just excited to see it all, man. I'm fired up for you.
I'm excited to be with you guys and looking forward to a bright future, okay?
All right, brother. Well, you have an awesome day. Where can these guys find you on social media?
So my name's Ciprian Adams, Ciprian Adams, Adams, everywhere, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and so on.
Awesome. All right, brother. Well, I appreciate you. Welcome aboard.
Thank you so much, man. Appreciate your time.
Weekend.